Welcome back to Hardball. As the Trump administration's obstruction of congressional requests for information and testimony continues unabated, some House Democrats are reported looking at other ways to force the administration to comply with their requests. NBC News reports that includes a second look at impeachment. Members are discussing other options for moving the process along, as Democrats believe Trump's strategy is to run out the clock on Congress' ability to investigate him and his administration until he gets reelected. It adds some members believe beginning impeachment proceedings could be a smarter political option than waiting until just before the November election. From where I'm joined by Democratic Congressman Kate Hill of California, who serves on the House Oversight Committee, and Jonathan Swan, national political reporter. Congressman, it's great to have you back on. We haven't had you on for a while, and I have to ask you, well, a secret question. I want to know the secret. When you sit and talk in the caucus, or some of the members get together, aren't you a little bit appalled at the success of the administration and just saying F you every time you ask for information or testimony or documents? Every time it's a stonewall?
I mean, personally, I'm appalled by this administration every single day, and I think most of us are. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty horrific that you can just say no, and that, you know, the amount of recourse that we have is fairly limited. So it's been very frustrating for many of us. I know that for me personally, it's something that I've struggled with. I've been talking with the people that I care most about what does this mean for me personally in the long run? How am I going to be able to stand up for what I believe in and talk, you know, to future generations about what we did in this very moment? And so I think everything's on the table still, and we're weighing our options. And I don't think it's good enough for us to say that we have to play the safe political route. And so, you know, I'm personally not going to let that happen, and I don't know exactly how far it's going to go, but I know I can't live with myself if that's the case.
Do you believe, political call, do you believe that a serious investigation through an impeachment process where you have the Senate or the House Judiciary Committee perhaps even hold nighttime hearings like they did with Nixon, and go through all the evidence on playing ball with the Russians, all the evidence about obstruction, a serious inquiry would somehow hurt the Democrats? Do you believe that?
You know, there's been a lot of debate about that, right? And I think
Where are you?
Personally, I don't think it would hurt the Democrats. I think that the people who believe that we're out to get Trump already believe that, and the people who don't don't, and you're not going to change a whole lot of minds in that regard. I think the people who we're talking about are ones that are either open to it or maybe a little bit skeptical, but maybe they don't care. So personally, I think this is a matter of integrity, and this is a matter of whether or not what we're going to stand for, and what we believe is our role within the framework of the Constitution. So I don't think we're there yet, but we're getting closer and closer every day as far as I'm concerned.
That's what I agree. If they can Jonathan, you're a straight reporter. You're not a Democrat or a Republican. But here we go. The question, can the Congress of the United States, the House of Representatives, play its role? Now, the way it was, Mueller's job was to investigate. The House of Representatives, under the Constitution's job, is to prosecute, and the job of the Senate is to judge. The House has been holding back on its job, which is to prosecute. Politically, they think that's smart. Pelosi thinks it's smart not to prosecute. I don't know. We just heard somebody doesn't think that's the case.
I have no earthly idea how the politics will shake out, but there's a lot of anxiety now in the Democratic caucus about the idea of going forward with the impeachment, and certainly among leadership. But I think we're seeing a little bit of a change. As Trump stonewalls every single thing, I think we are seeing, and Pelosi acknowledged this last week when she used the word the president is self-impeaching.
Is it better to look aggressive or weak?
I mean, you're the expert at this, Chris. I don't know. I mean, like, Pelosi clearly thought it was getting ahead of public opinion to impeach. Okay. And I think you can see a little bit of a change in her tone. This
is the danger, I think. Congresswoman, you're in the heart of this. You're in the belly of the beast here. Here's the question. If Trump has nothing to hide, the president, on dealing with the Russians, playing ball with the Russians, why did he spend 2 years obstructing this investigation? Why does he spend all this time obstructing it? He doesn't want the truth out. What truth is he hiding? And that, to me, is the question that's still out there. What's he been hiding?
I mean, honestly, I don't even think that question's still out there. I think most of us know exactly what the answer is to that, and it's pretty well laid out there in the report. The issue is that most Americans are not going to read a 450-page report. We need to get that information out there, and that's incredibly hard to do, and it's going to be incredibly hard to do if we aren't able to get those witnesses in front of us. So, I really respect my colleagues who have been here much longer than I have. I really respect the Speaker's leadership on this, and the chairman of the various committees. committees. So I think we are going to exhaust all options available to us before we move down the road of impeachment. But I just don't think it's off the table. And, you know, frankly, I'm coming from one of these swing districts, the ones where theoretically it's more risky to possibly impeach. But I just don't believe that we can use that forever as cover.
Last question to you, John. Why did Donald Jr. buckle and agree to testify?
He sent a letter. They were going to send a letter yesterday saying no to open-ended open-ended testimony. There were conversations today, and the ultimate agreement was a more restricted appearance, 2 to 4 hours. So I don't know if you could say one side or the other.
No, weird that sounds, 2 to 4 hours. 4 hours is enough. 2 isn't. 2 to 4. I hope they haven't constrained the questioning to not getting to the heart of the thing.
I'm getting conflicting reports on that. Some say yes, some say
I want to hear all about Trump Tower and what he was doing there with Vessel to Sky. I want to know what he was up to. Anyway, thank you, U.S. Congressman Katie Hill. I love the nuances of everybody's thinking out there. There's a lot of different opinions and stripes to it. Thank you so much for always coming on. Jonathan Swan, thank you, sir. Up next, 2 nights from now, I'm going